Hi there, welcome to the latest edition of Red Army TV here in the Red Army Radio Studio's got two fantastic guests for you this evening. Mr. Paddy Cronsbury from the Middlesbrough Disabled Supporters Association. I got that right, MDSA.
You did.
And Mr. Paul Burke, big Boro fan.
Good evening.
And Red Army Social.
Yes.
Guru, shall we say.
Guru. Well, not too sure about that, mate.
Guys, we've got loads to talk about. But first of all, Paddy, before we start chatting all things Boro, we want some money, don't we?
We certainly do.
We're the MDSA need a new minibus, don't they? Tell us all about it, mate.
Well, we're currently running a project to finance our third minibus. The first two lasted us, well, the current one's going to be 10-year-old shortly. The first one we traded in at 10-year-old. It seems to be a realistic life for a minibus. Don't want it any much longer because you don't realise any asset value.
Yeah. But it's essential, Paddy, isn't it, really? Because
well, it's the only way we can get our disabled fans to away games, really.
Unlike, obviously, like I say, all the fans that can either go on the Red Army coach car, they can go on the Boro coaches. Yeah. But obviously, fans like yourself and the guys who are from the MDSA, they need specialist minibuses, don't they?
Well, yeah, it's certainly helped. We help the club out by running it, I think.
Yeah.
You know, because you can get one or two wheelchairs on the RARA coaches, but you know it's a limited number. Yeah. And you know certain games we're oversubscribed on the minibus even.
So what are you doing to try and raise this money? Are we having a function? Are we doing
We've sort of doing various bits and bobs throughout the year. It's anywhere 45 to 50 grand target. I'm saying 45 because we'd expect to get some sort of discount off the dealers.
Yeah.
And it seems a realistic.
So how can people help, Paddy?
They can either contact me via Facebook or go on the MDSA page on Facebook, email me or whatever. You know, get in touch with the football club even. Yeah. They'll pass my details.
So there's loads of ways, isn't there? You can even get in touch with us here at Red Army, couldn't they?
Yeah,
so they can get in touch with Dave Roberts. Let's use him as a point of contact for Red Army. Why not? He's not here. We might as well use him. So look, they can people can get in touch to us here at Red Army. You can join. You can get it. Have a chat with the guys at the club and just say, look, we want to get involved. We want to donate some money for the MDSA for their new minibus. Track down Paddy Cronsbury on Facebook, or the MDSA have their own Facebook page, Paddy?
They do, yeah.
So they have their own Facebook page as well. So look, if you can help, here at Red Army, we want to help, don't we? Simple as that.
Well, I mean, the Boro fans historically are I don't know where they get the money from, but
great Army.
They're brilliant, you know what I mean?
Yeah, brilliant.
They always seem to come up with it.
Yeah, and like I say, you know, we look after our own, don't we, as Boro fans? And that's...
I mean, just to spout my bit, I recently went up Rosebery Top.
You certainly did. I was going to have a chat with you later on that. Go on, we'll chat now. You did go up Rosebery Top, and we've seen it was all over the press. It was all over the media. We spoke about it here at Red Army as well.
Yeah, it was a two-pronged fork. We raised money for Cleveland Mountain Rescue, who aren't funded by anybody that I can find out.
That's right. No, they're not.
You know, they're all still self-funding or public donations. And also, we raised, with the guys who helped me get up there, something in the region of $2,000 for them, and a grand for our minibus fund.
So you're already starting, haven't you?
Oh yeah. Well, we've been going for the last 10 months or so.
Yeah. And
we're about 14, 15 grand in.
Brilliant.
So it's like a third of the way.
So just to reiterate, if you want to get in, if you want to help, if you want to donate, how little or small, anything, or if you want to do something, coffee morning, sponsored walk, sponsored swim, whatever they want to do, they can either get in touch with the football club, get in touch with Paddy Cronsbury on his Facebook page, get in touch with the MDSA on their Facebook page, or look, drop us an email here at Red Army, and we'll pass it on to Paddy.
Yeah, like
brilliant.
One of the retailers, their strap line is every little counts. Well, it certainly does in this case.
That's right. And look, if you're out there and you make minibuses, come and give this lad one a little bit cheaper. Paul.
Hello.
I'll introduce you. Good evening, mate, because we're going to chat all things Boro. I know you were at the European gig on Sunday where the team all got together. We'll chat about that a little bit later on. Fellas, we have to talk about Redaing. Not that we have to. I want to, really, because in my opinion, the little that counts, I thought it was a good display. But, Paul, I'm going to ask you first. Was it a must-win 3 points? Or would you been happy to go there, good performance, and maybe get a draw out of it?
No, I think it was a must-win 3 points, especially after the way we played against Bristol City before the international break, and to come back after the international break was a definite 3 points. Anything less would have probably been a step backwards in my eyes.
Yeah, and look, we did play well against Bristol City. We covered that on previous shows and on the social. I'm sure you did. And I thought Bristol City was a marked improvement. But Paddy, looking at the Boro against Reading, I mean, I said on my show on the radio, it seems to be. It was a bit more disciplined against Reading. We sort of seen the game out, didn't we? Where other times we've sort of been gung-ho. We love to go forward. That's the way Woody likes to play now. Mm-hmm. But we sort of like lost games towards the end or pulled a draw out. But do you think it was a bit more disciplined?
Yeah, we started off like a house on fire again. And, you know, to be fair to the boys, it could have been 2 up in the first 5 minutes. And then, again, about 15, 20 minutes, we tend to... I don't know if we run out of steam or we take our foot off the pedal, and you know we concede a bit of thing for Reading to get back into the game. Of it, you know?
Yeah, well, it seems, you know, and I've said this a thousand times. The guys are getting in contact with us on the old Facebook page there, but for me, it's the style of play that Woody's trying to play with Paul. I mean. Yep. Look, we know it's a 4-3-3 of sorts. It's a 4-3-3. It's not like, by no means is it a Liverpool 4-3-3, by the way. However, it's a 4-3-3 of sorts. And look, he hasn't gone back on what he said right from the beginning, Woody. He wanted to come and try and play attractive football. He wants to try and press high up the field. In my opinion, I think he's tried to do that. However, it comes with problems, doesn't it? And I just think sometimes in the games, we've sort of nodded off. We did against Reading. They had a couple of good chances. Is that something we need to get better on, Paul?
We do. We can't stop switching off because every week we seem to be saying about, Darren Randolph. We need to stop that and have it on the all team. Last 10 minutes against Reading, they battered us. And if it wasn't for Randolph again, it'd have been a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, well, I mean, we put a poll up here at Red Army on one of the social media sites, and I think we asked who their man of the match was. Randolph won it by about 78%, I think. I think it was closely followed by Paddy McNair. It was then followed by Ryan Shotton and then Dale Fry. Now, I must admit, Paddy, I've been probably one of Ryan Shotton's biggest critics since the start of the season. I don't think he's had a good start of the season. However, I must admit, against Bristol City, I thought he'd done well. Yeah. And then, if it wasn't probably for the 2 later saves by Randolph, I would have probably given Shotton man of the match. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I thought it was definitely an improved performance by Ryan. I mean, he made 2 interceptions, which one of them, I doubt if he'd ever be able to do it again. I don't know if he didn't realise how good it was, you know, when the ball come over the top and he sort of hitch-kicked it reverse. And,
yeah.
And, but, yeah, he had a good game. I would go along with Paddy McNair as probably being our shining light this season.
He's been an inspiration, hasn't he? Totally different player, really, yeah. And I don't think he was getting a kick, really, properly under Pulis, was he?
Him and Saville seem to be doing the business for the Irish team, Northern Irish team. And I'm surprised that Woody maybe doesn't give them a go from the start, you know, because they seem to have a fairly good, tight understanding. Well,
after the break, we're actually going to hear from Ashley Fletcher, who had a few words to say at a do that we were at. The Red Army was invited to last night at the Riverside. I know you were there, Paddy. And Dave Roberts had a chance to have a chat with Ashley Fletcher about the new attacking formation. We'll have a listen to that after the break. But obviously, scored the goal, I think it was around about 60 minutes, Paul. Yep. Marvin Johnson. We've just spoke about Paddy McNair being a shining light, really. Marvin Johnson, bit of a different player than what we loaned out, isn't he?
Like a new signing, isn't he? He's like a new signing. Honestly, when like I said on Monday night on the social show, when we saw Marcus Brown come in, you thought, is there going to be space for Marvin Johnson at the football club? But he's come in, he's held down his place. Absolutely, he's like a brand new player. Sheffield United just got promoted. Could have possibly had the chance to go at them and play in the Premier League. Yeah. But no, he's here and doing it for the Boro.
He obviously believes in what Woody's foresight is for the club. I want to quickly just chat about before we go into the break about Britt, the offside decision. Was it offside, Paddy, in your opinion?
Well, I'm almost in line with that, and I thought it was a bit harsh. Maybe I don't know. He could have got the last touch, but
Paul, what's your thoughts?
I've not seen it myself. I've not seen it myself.
I'm with Paddy. I must admit, I thought it was a bit harsh, mate. From when I sit in the ground, I have to watch the replay, I must admit. But I watched the replay, and I thought it was really harsh, to be fair.
But any goal for us is always going to be disallowed. It's always going to be a bit harsh, isn't it?
Well,
So,
I'll tell you what. After the break, we might have a chat about VAR because I know it's Woody's bugbear, bit of VAR. But look, we're going to keep chatting all things, but we've got to look forward to Cardiff. You've heard what the guys in the studio have had to say about the Boro. Have your say. Give us a message on the L Facebook page. Join us after break on Red Army TV. Welcome back to Red Army TV. Got Paddy Cronsbury and Paul Burke with us, chatting all things Boro. Keep your messages coming in on the Al Facebook. I'm going to go over them in a little bit. I'll tell you what, let's have a look at it now. Michael Byrne has came on and said, get Becky to do a sponsored walk and go around all the North East football grounds. Well, come on, let's get him in and we'll do that. I'll tell you what, I'll go and do that as well from Red Army TV. So let's do it. John Lillystone, good to see Berkey back. Tough game on Saturday, but let's keep the momentum going with a win.
a lot of love for me tonight, isn't
There's
there?
a lot of love. I tell you what, he's the face of Red Army. He's our pin-up for Red Army TV here. Stu Gawley.
When's the calendar?
Yeah.
Start them off,
Stu Gawley said, couldn't the club and the players help out? Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give him a ring. Let's see. A lot of them listen to Yaff Paul, don't they? So let's have a chat with the players. But look, I suppose the club, see if they can do a bit.
To be fair to the club, they do a lot behind the scenes.
They do, and that's why the guys out there who they do the club. I must give them the due. The club do
Let's
do
help
the
ourselves by opening our wallets and helping. Helping one of our own out.
And to be honest, we don't have to say much because, like we said earlier on in the show, that the Boro fans they do dig deep, don't they? They're great. Anyway, let's finish off Reading. Like I say, in my opinion, it was a great 3 points for one reason: consistency and confidence. I thought. I would be lying if I thought it was an all-round perfect display. Like Paul said earlier on in the show, last 10 minutes, I thought we were under the cosh. A couple of great saves from the goalkeeper. That's what, in my opinion, and probably Woody's opinion, makes him the best goalkeeper in the league. Couple of injuries, though, I want to chat to you about. Couple of injuries. Obviously, Johnny Howson missed the game. He's had minor surgery. George Friend still on the old doctor's table. Rudy Gestead, thigh injury. How? Rudy, what are you doing outside of football that's giving you a thigh injury? And Hayden Coulson, the club reckon he's another 4 to 6 weeks with a ruptured thigh.
He's a miss.
Now, let's talk about Hayden Coulson, Paddy. He was like, bear in mind, he's come from the academy. He's a young player. But again, like a new signing through the pre-season, wasn't he?
Really, yeah, absolutely.
Great young player with loads of prospects, hasn't he?
Yeah, he played well pre-season as well. He looked a really good prospect.
He's been given his chance and he's taken it. That he should be a symbol to any other lads in the academy to say, look what I've done. If you can get into that first team squad, get your place nailed down. Yeah. Nobody's nailed on to start.
Well, look, it shows that the gaffer's looking, doesn't it? It shows that the gaffer's, looking at the youth academy. Yeah. He did say, I think, one of his initial press conferences when he was appointed head coach, not the manager, the head coach, that he knows everybody from like under 12s up to the senior squad. So he knows who is going to come through and who isn't. But, I mean, Rudy Gestead, do you know what? He's got a lot of knockers, Rudy Gestead. But you don't turn into a bad player overnight, Where's this Rudy Gestead gone who scored all them goals, I
mean, it was like a dream team, him and Jordan. Blackburn,
exactly. Him and Jordan Rhodes were knocking goals into fun, Paddy, weren't they?
And but it seemed to buy them, then they sell one.
Yeah.
And, that pairing's automatically disintegrated straight away. And he hasn't picked it up, has he, really?
No.
It's been the case with all our strikers, though, really, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, you've led me greatly on, as you do, because you're the face of Red Army TV, Paul, by all the comments what are coming in. And there will be a calendar of Paul for Christmas. I'm not going to tell you. It involves fruit placed in strategic areas, but that's all I will say. So, girls, get your money down on that.
Are you putting a pan?
I'm so glad I've come back to this.
Hey, but we talked about strikers. Like I said, Dave Roberts was at a function last night, and it was all to do with sort of stamping racism out and equality in that within the football club. And the football club, I think it was called Football Factas, wasn't it? Yeah. Factas. And our man Dave Roberts had a chance to chat to Ashley Fletcher about the new way of attacking football and the way that the manager has got on playing. This is what Ashley had to say.
I think it's fantastic. I think we're 4 unbeaten at the minute, and everyone's really enjoying the football. Obviously, new managers come in. We've got a really good style of play. I think trying to pass out from the back and could be a little bit risky at times, but that's what ultimately I think you as fans want to see. We want to play attractive football, and it's just about marrying the results together. And like I said, the last 4 games we were unbeaten, and we're going to the Cardiff game looking to go 5 unbeaten as well.
And we keep hearing messages from the boss of get the ball in there quickly, get it into the penalty area. Yeah. That must be a dream come true for a striker, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. No, me and attacking players, me, Britt, Marvin, Marcus Brown, we can't ask for any more. Working with Robbie Keane on a daily basis is only going to benefit us, and the manager has given us a lot of responsibility this season to go and express yourself and give yourself a bit more freedom, and we're doing it.
So thanks there to Ashley Fletcher and obviously Dave Roberts who done the interview for us. Look, he sounds happy, Paul, doesn't he? I think he was brought here to try and score goals. Maybe that wasn't the way under Pulis, but I think strikers are always happy when they're trying to score goals, and that's the way Woody's got us to play. Dave mentioned it straight away. Get the ball in the box, and three times out of 4, we're going to have a chance to score, aren't we?
9 times out of 10, you'll score goals if you get the balls in the box. We've got the right wingers now to do it, so get them pumped in. Get Rudiger sent back. Get a 6-foot odd centre forward and get him on the pitch.
Yeah.
At least try him. But one thing you were saying about him seeing happy, one thing I noticed is I went on Saturday and I spoke to the players before the game, got my shirt signed. They seemed so much happier to chat and interact with the fans. Whereas last season under Pulis, you went to meet them after the game, got an autograph before the game. They didn't want to, they'd just sign your shirt and walked off.
Yeah.
Everyone around the club seems so
Well, I'll
much
ask
happier.
you, Paddy, because it's very well documented that Ashley Fletcher and Britt Sombalonga get on really well. They turn up to the ground together. They socialise together. How important for an attacking partnership is that on the field as well as off?
Yeah, I don't think it's boiled down to just attacking partnership. I think it's something that you should foster between all the players. They all seem to be buying into Woody's philosophy, and and especially the forwards seem to be putting that bit extra in that we didn't see last year.
Just back to the old Facebook page there. Michael Byrne saying, our last one's the calendar with Paul. All 12 months for you, she wants. I'll tell you what, a lot of love for Paul tonight.
Why don't you start?
Michael Byrne also, obviously Cardiff coming up as well. He's mentioned it's going to be a tough game. Cardiff coming up. Look, I think Cardiff's going to be a lot like Bristol City. Cardiff are a team who like to rough teams up. They don't, with all the best will in the world, they don't play the most fantastic, attractive football. However, they like to bully teams out. How are we going to go down there with the same mentality of Bristol City, Paddy, and hopefully try and play around that?
I'd love to see it. Warnock's no mug. He always sets the team up to play the opposition, wherever opposition he's got in front of him. And he knows our strengths, I would think. And but we've got to try and combat that and give him a kick back when we have to. And
Paul, obviously Warnock's a big fan of the club, and he said loads of good things about Boro, the chairman. I think he was touting himself for a job at one stage. But do you think we're going to go? Woody said in a press conference yesterday and this morning, and basically it was a throwaway comment saying that, look, we're going into every game to win. I don't think our last manager set up like that sometimes. However, we've got to be careful with this. There's a certain player down there that we don't want to start getting his heading boots or his shooting boots back on, do we?
That one that's going to score the first goal, you mean?
Well, again, that's come up there, people saying, it's wrote down that, it's wrote down in folklore that he'll come and scores a goal. But look, I have my thoughts on Flint. He's not a footballer. No. He's an old-fashioned defender. Give him a chance in the box, he might put it header past you.
Warnock's obviously had us watched. Aidan will know the players from last season. Like he might not necessarily know how we're going to play this season, but he'll know something about the players. Cardiff have come off a 1-1 draw with Fulham, who one of the best teams in the division this year. They drew 1-1 with Derby, who was struggling. So go to win, play to win. It's the only way.
Well, look, we're going down there. What, unbeaten in 4, Paddy? Mm-hmm. What is it? You told me earlier on. 3-1, 3 wins and a draw.
3 draws and
3 wins.
There we go. It's you just said better than me. That's why he's got a calendar. That's why he's got a calendar. All right. But look, we'll be going down there thinking, well, look, we're no mugs. We're unbeaten in 4. You know, they should be fearing us, really, from our away record. Is that the way, you know, we're going to try and perceive it and going to go down and have a go, do you think, Paddy?
As long as we improve our points to games ratio, at the moment we're running like a point a game. If we can up that to 2 points a game,
yeah,
we're going to be knocking.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to ask you guys for predictions because we're nearly out of time. I think, I've said it all season, I think there's a team out there going to get a battering off the Boro. When it all clicks in, that 4-3-3, when it clicks in, somebody's out there for a hide. And whether it's Saturday, I hope it is, whether it's Saturday. Paul, prediction.
3-0.
3-0 the Boro.
And if it comes off, I'll do that calendar and all proceeds can go to the MDSA.
There we go. Paddy, you heard that first, do you, by the way?
At this moment in time, I'd take the draw, but I would love to see us get 3 points there.
Well, I'm going to sit on the fence and say Boro 5-0. Okay, like I always do. Simple as that. Fellas, it's been an absolute pleasure. Don't forget, if you can help Paddy out in any way, get in touch with us here at Red Army or the club or Paddy himself. Help the MDSA. See you all next week on Red Army TV.